What you're about to witness changed everything. The arena exploded. Social media went nuclear. And Monday Night Raw will never be the same after what happened on February 16, 2026. But before we dive into the chaos, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell because you do not want to miss highlights like this. For months, the WWE Universe has been haunted by a question that's kept us up at night, dominated every conversation, and sent speculation into overdrive. Who is the Masked Man? This mysterious figure has been wreaking havoc across Raw, attacking superstars in the shadows, costing championships, and turning the entire roster into a paranoid mess. Security footage showed glimpses. Commentators threw out theories. Wrestlers pointed fingers at each other. But nobody, and I mean nobody, could have predicted what went down this week. Let me take you back to where this nightmare began. It was November 2025 when the lights first went out during a main event match. When they came back on, a man in a black tactical mask stood in the ring, and Seth Rollins was laid out cold. No music. No entrance. Just violence and mystery. The next week, it happened again. Drew McIntyre, one of the most dominant forces in WWE, got blindsided backstage. Cameras caught just enough to see the mask, the black gear, but nothing more. Week after week, the attacks intensified. Superstars started arriving at the arena in groups. Nobody walked alone. Trust evaporated. The theories were everywhere. Some said it was a returning legend settling old scores. Others swore it was someone from NXT making the most brutal debut in history. Internet detectives analyzed every frame of footage, measuring height, studying movement patterns, comparing body types to the entire roster past and present. Was it Sami Zayn seeking revenge? Could it be a disfigured Finn Balor? What if Bray Wyatt somehow returned from the shadows? The conspiracy boards went wild. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone was wrong. Raw on February 16 started like any other night, but you could feel the tension. The commentary team acknowledged that the Masked Man could strike at any moment. Security was supposedly doubled. Cameras were everywhere. Triple H had issued a statement earlier that day promising that if the Masked Man showed his face tonight, his identity would be exposed and he'd be dealt with permanently. Big words. But wrestling fans know that when authority figures make promises like that, chaos is guaranteed. The show rolled on. Matches happened. Promos were cut. But everyone in that arena and everyone watching at home was waiting for the lights to go out, waiting for that eerie feeling that something terrible was about to happen. And then it did. During a heated confrontation between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, two men who've been at each other's throats trying to prove who's the true face of Raw, the Titantron flickered. Static. That's when you knew. That's when the energy shifted. The Masked Man appeared on the screen, not in the arena, but somewhere in the back corridors of the building. His voice distorted through a modulator, he spoke directly to the WWE Universe for the first time. He talked about being overlooked, about promises broken, about a company that chews people up and spits them out when they're no longer useful. He spoke about reinvention, about burning down the old to build something new. And then he said the words that made everyone's blood run cold tonight, "You'll know who I am." And tonight, everything changes. The feed cut. Rollins and Rhodes looked at each other with that rare moment of unity that comes when a common enemy emerges. They demanded the Masked Man come out and face them like a man instead of hiding like a coward. The crowd was on their feet. The chant started soft but grew louder, "Show your face. Show your face." The lights went out. You could hear a pin drop in an arena of thousands. When the lights came back, he was there, standing on the stage. The Masked Man. Black tactical gear. That haunting mask. But something was different. He was ready to reveal himself. He reached up slowly, deliberately, letting the moment breathe. Every second felt like an eternity. The mask came off, and the arena erupted. Dean Ambrose. The lunatic fringe. The man who left WWE years ago, the man who said he'd never return, the man who burned every bridge on his way out, was standing on that stage with a smile that could only be described as unhinged. The shock was immediate and absolute. Jaws dropped. Fans lost their minds. Some cheered out of pure disbelief. Others booed because of the chaos he'd caused. But everyone was stunned. Seth Rollins' face told the entire story. His former Shield brother, his best friend turned rival turned friend again, the man he'd been through war with, was the one who'd been terrorizing Raw. Cody Rhodes looked like he'd seen a ghost. The commentary team scrambled to make sense of it. Michael Cole's voice cracked as he screamed, "It's Dean Ambrose. Oh my God, it's Dean Ambrose." The internet exploded in real time. Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, every platform was immediately flooded with reactions, memes, and clips. Dean Ambrose was trending worldwide within minutes. But here's what made this moment transcend just a simple return or reveal. Dean grabbed a microphone and began to speak, and the words he chose cut deep. He talked about leaving WWE feeling burned out, feeling like just another cog in the machine. He spoke about watching from the outside, seeing the same people get the same opportunities while new blood was held back. He mentioned that he tried to stay away, tried to build something different elsewhere, but the pull of WWE, the pull of unfinished business, was too strong. But he wasn't coming back as the lovable lunatic. He wasn't coming back to play nice or shake hands. He was back to dismantle everything from the inside out. Seth Rollins, ever the passionate one, stormed down to the ring grabbing a mic, demanding answers. Why attack him? Why attack Drew? Why hide behind a mask like a coward instead of just showing up and talking like men? Dean's response was chilling. He said Seth represented everything wrong with WWE now, a corporate champion who plays the game, who shakes hands with management, who forgot what it meant to be hungry. He said every superstar he attacked deserved it because they'd become complacent, soft, content with their spots instead of fighting for something more. This wasn't personal, Dean claimed. This was necessary. The tension between these two former brothers was palpable. Years of history, battles side by side as the Shield, betrayals, reconciliations, all of it hung in the air. Cody Rhodes inserted himself, reminding everyone that he didn't care about Shield reunions or old friendships. If Dean wanted to make a statement, he'd have to go through the American Nightmare. Dean laughed, that trademark unsettling laugh, and said he counted on it. He wanted everyone to come for him. He wanted the entire roster to try and stop what he was starting because in chaos, the truth reveals itself. Before anything could escalate further, Triple H's music hit. The boss walked out, and you could see he was both furious and intrigued. He acknowledged that Dean Ambrose is one of the most talented performers to ever step in a WWE ring, but actions have consequences. The attacks, the disruption, the chaos, all of it would be dealt with. He announced that at the next pay-per-view event, Dean Ambrose would face Seth Rollins one-on-one, and if Dean lost, he'd be fired permanently. If Dean won, he'd get a championship opportunity of his choosing. The stakes couldn't be higher. Dean accepted immediately, the smile never leaving his face. Seth looked conflicted, torn between anger at his former friend and the pain of having to potentially end Dean's career himself. The show went off the air with Dean standing tall on the stage, arms spread wide, soaking in the chaos he'd created. The image of his face, that mask in his hand, the arena in pandemonium, that's the image that will define this era. What makes this reveal so significant goes beyond just shock value. Dean Ambrose returning to WWE was considered impossible by most fans. His departure was messy, public, and seemed permanent. He'd found success elsewhere, spoken critically about WWE's creative process, and appeared done with that chapter of his life. For him to return, and to return as a calculated, methodical villain rather than the chaotic hero fans remembered, shows evolution. This isn't the same Dean who left. This is something darker, more focused, more dangerous. The implications ripple through the entire roster. Every superstar now has to wonder if they're next. Seth Rollins must confront his past and question everything about their friendship. Cody Rhodes has a new obstacle in his path. The tag team division, the midcard, the main event scene, everything just got infinitely more interesting. WWE Creative has been handed a goldmine of storytelling possibilities, and if they execute this correctly, we're looking at one of the most compelling storylines in recent memory. The WWE universe is divided. Some fans are thrilled to have Dean back, villain or not, because his presence elevates everyone around him. Others feel betrayed that he'd return just to attack beloved superstars. But that division, that debate, that passion, that's exactly what makes this work. The best storylines make you feel something, make you pick a side, make you invested in the outcome. As we look forward, questions remain. Will Roman Reigns acknowledge his former Shield brothers' return? Could this lead to a Shield reunion or a three-way collision course? What other superstars might align with Dean's vision of burning it all down? Who will step up to stop him? The next few months of Raw just became must-see television, and that reveal on February 16th will be remembered as the moment everything changed. If you're as obsessed with this storyline as we are, drop your predictions in the comments. Do you think Seth can beat Dean at the pay-per-view? Should Dean win and go after the championship? And most importantly, are you Team Seth or Team Dean? Let us know. And don't forget to like this video, share it with every wrestling fan you know, and subscribe for more hardcore highlights because this story is just getting started, and we'll be breaking down every twist and turn. The lunatic fringe is back, and Raw will never be the same.